Welcome back to another edition of Math Video. In this edition, we're going to find out different ways to count the outcomes of an event that happens. We'll show some strategies to do this in a fast way because sometimes it can take a long time. So in this edition, I need to get some new clothes for a baseball game. And we'll see how these strategies can help me figure out all the different possibilities of an outfit that I could wear. Button-down shirts, dress pants. I'm sick of this. I want to wear some jerseys, some casual gear. It's springtime. I want to wear some baseball stuff, like some hats, jerseys, and maybe throw on some jeans. I think I'm going to go get some new outfits. Let's see how probability can help me figure this out in terms of my outcomes and total outfits.
So I got all my new gear ready for the big game. I wonder how many possible combinations there are out here.
So before we start working on how many possible outfits I can make, let's take an example that involves a coin. And let's flip this coin twice. And let's see how many total outcomes there would be from flipping this twice.
Oh, yeah.
Well, one possible way to list all the outcomes is through the counting tree or tree diagram strategy. A tree diagram shows all the paths or branches that lead you to the possible outcomes. So when flipping a coin, my first flip, I could get a heads or tails. So let's just pretend that I did get a heads on my first flip. On my second flip, I could also get a heads or a tails. But let's say I got a tails on my first flip. Well, I could still get a heads or a tails on my second flip. So now if we follow the path of branches, it will lead us to all of our outcomes of flipping a coin twice. This path is a heads, heads. This path would be a heads, then tails. This path would be a tails, then a heads. And lastly, this would be a tails, then a tails. The counting tree has 4 different paths, so that means there are 4 different outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's take another example, this time with a spinner. And let's make a tree diagram with a 3-section spinner of blue, green, and red. So if we spin this twice, my possibilities on the first spin are going to be blue, green, or red. And no matter what I get on my first spin, on the second spin, I'll always have the same possibilities of getting a blue, green, or red. So as we follow the paths in this tree, we see that we have 9 total outcomes in all. But if we just want to find the number of outcomes real quick, we're not really concerned with what they are. We can just take a look at our actions. We're doing 2 things here, 2 actions, flipping the coin once and flipping the coin twice. On the first action, you have 2 possibilities, heads or tails. The second possibility, again, you have heads or tails as your options. 2 times 2 is 4, and that's what our counting tree showed us, that we have 4 possible outcomes. And if we want to find just the number of outcomes really quickly with the spinner, spinning it twice, well, we have 3 possibilities on our first spin, blue, green, or red, and 3 possibilities on our second spin, same thing, blue, green, or red, and 3 times 3 is 9, and that's exactly what our counting tree showed us. This just gives us the number where the counting tree actually shows all the possibilities. So let's get back into the original situation. How many possible outfits can I make? So I have 3 jerseys, I have 2 different pairs of pants, and I have 2 different types of hats. So following the paths, you can see that I have 12 different possible outfits that I could make, or 3 times 2 times 2 equals 12. So this counting tree is starting to get a little big, so I'm not going to write down all the different outfits. If I needed to figure them out, all I'd have to do is follow the individual paths to find an outfit. But there are 12 of them all together. So again, here's one last look at the shortcut way of finding how many outfits I could make. 3 of my jerseys times 2 of the different types of pants times 2 different hats, that's 12 altogether. So if you use these strategies, you can't go wrong when finding the total outcomes. Hooray! I'm off to the Brewer game. And I think I'm going to wear my cool zebra Zubas and my visor and my baby blue jersey.